Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of accounting cycle. So where were we? So in part 1 we discussed the source documents. What are the source documents? Then based on the source documents, we pass the general entries, which would be here. And then moving on, uh, those balances like cash account, sales account, it goes to the I'm sorry. Yeah. So it goes to the ledger accounts, which are in easy word is group. The ledger includes the group of accounts like cash, sales, purchases, etc. Then based on this, we move on to the try balance. Try balance includes multiple accounts, for example, cash, which we took the example, then sales, purchases, liability, etc. Okay, one thing to add is that in the try balance, the closing balance of these accounts, for example, sorry, for example, closing balance of cash, closing balance of sales, and closing balance of purchases would come in the try balance. All right. So then we move on to the final stage, which is preparation of the financial statements. So we won't go really in much detail what are the components of let's say income statements, balance sheet, cash flow, all right? But for an overview, the income statement includes the profit generated for a period of the business. The balance sheet would include the liabilities, assets, and the owner's equity. And cash flow statement basically includes the detail of cash transactions for the period. For example, what came in, what went out, etc. All right. So what happens after? Like I said, I would give you a very small uh, summary of what is financial reporting, auditing, taxation, and management. Financial reporting is nothing but, like, for example, if you hear these words somewhere, so financial reporting is nothing but all of this process. These 5 steps here is all part of financial reporting, where you record the transactions, and finally, using those transactions, the income statements of the business is generated. Not the income statement, financial statements of the business is generated. So this forms part of financial reporting. And what is auditing exactly? See, not going in very much detail, there are basically two kinds of audit, internal audit, external audit. And having known that, so what does the auditor do? I would keep it specific to the external auditor. The job of an auditor is to audit all of the accounting process and keeping check of how these entries were passed, how the financial statements were made, and the accuracy of the financial statements. So that is uh, the accuracy of financial statement is the job of the auditor, ensuring the accuracy. And taxation, let's say you have heard the term about tax filing. So the detail of the detail you get for tax filing, you would obtain it from the financial statements itself. For example, let's say, you are filing VAT returns within UAE. So you would basically use the sale and purchase components of the financial statement of the income statement to file the VAT return. Then for corporation tax return filing, you would use the profit generated for the period by the company. And so basically my main aim is to help you understand like these steps are all carried out after you have done your reporting part. And for example, management reporting, what management reporting is, let's say one of the example of management reporting is budgeting and forecasting. And what exactly happens, for example, for a period of, let's say you have made the financial statements from January to December, you have reported your sale, you have reported your cost of sale, and then you arrive at GP, and it is for the year of, let's say, 2026. So what the management does is it's going to forecast, let's say, forecast a period of 5 years. So let's say they would say, okay, that's how we did in 2026, and moving forward, that is our plan for sales. And 2028, that's our plan for sales. That sorry, this is we are going to increase our sale, let's say for 10%, 20%, and then obviously cost is increased simultaneously. And so this basically a slight overview of budgeting and forecasting. So the main element of all of these is your accounting cycle, how the accounting cycle, how you make your financial statements, and then the auditing is done based on the financial statements preparation, tax filing, etc., and management reporting. And obviously, there are much more that goes in tax filing as well, and auditing as well. But just to give you an overview that how the process is carried forward.